In one of my favorite scenes in the movie, the good doctor questions Igor on the origin of the freshly implanted and somewhat suspect brain. Now, that brain that you gave me, was it Hans Delbrück's? No, replies Igor. Ah, good. Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in? And you won't be angry? I will not be angry, the doctor states emphatically. Abby someone. Abby someone? Abby who? Dr. Frankenstein continues to probe. Abby Normal. I'm almost sure that was the name, Igor responds gleefully. Ha 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 ha! The doctor rises to his feet and he places his hands around Igor's throat. Are you saying that I put an abnormal brain into a 7.5-foot long, 54-inch wide gorilla? Is that what you're telling me? And with that question wafting in the air, the good doctor throttles Igor and bounces him up and down as his eyes begin to bulge out. This hilarious scene serves as the setup for what turns out to be a comedic rendition of a fanciful tale that is a parody of its more serious telling. As funny as this scene may be, leaders sometimes feel as if they're dealing with abnormal people when confronted with a myriad of interpersonal challenges and unhealthy behaviors manifested among those whom they oversee. Juvenile attitudes, passive-aggressive activity, disingenuous conversations, and basic disrespect can be collaboration killers. Unhealthy relational dynamics can wreak havoc among teams, rendering members frustrated and unable to focus on the work at hand. While it may seem appropriate and even convenient at times to label challenging individuals as abnormal, I caution against relegating people to any category. Doing so may hinder leaders from dealing directly with difficult individuals and issues head on. There is no normal when it comes to relationships. Or said another way, every individual is unique. Normal is defined as, quote, approximately average in any psychological trait as intelligence, personality, or emotional adjustment, free from mental disorder, sane, end quote. While it may be statistically possible to find the mean when it comes to rational intelligence testing scores, it's considerably more difficult to ascertain the same when it comes to personality or even emotional adjustment. And from my experience, it's safe to say that the vast majority of people truly believe themselves to be above average. So we have a perception problem and a whole host of leadership problems when we begin to pronounce others as not normal. The reality is that we're all broken to some degree or another. There is no normal. Even the sharpest people you know who seem to have it all together when you first meet them are most certainly struggling with something on some level that renders them somewhat less than they desire to be. What I'm trying to say is that everybody seems normal until you have the opportunity to observe them more closely. Inevitably, we all begin to show cracks in our character when scrutinized. Rather than writing off others as being less than normal, a better approach to leadership would be to grow in our empathy and authenticity. Humility breeds authenticity. Humility is the character quality most often associated with servant leadership. As much as humility is talked about in leadership circles, it's still widely misunderstood. Some see humility as meekness or being mild-mannered. Some would suggest that it's the antithesis of arrogance or pride. Others may use platitudes such as, humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. While each of these may shed some light on this important character quality, humility remains hard to define and even harder to achieve. At its core, humility is the ability to see oneself honestly without pretense. Humility involves a clear acknowledgement of the frailty of humanity and the recognition of our own brokenness. The paradox is that we cannot change ourselves until we accept ourselves just as we are. We must be comfortable with the awareness that we're not perfect, and we have no need to posture ourselves as being perfect. We can be honest with others and ourselves as we embrace our strengths and work to enhance those aspects of ourselves that could potentially limit our leadership.